Well, good Monday evening, Arkansas. This is Chief Forecaster Cameron back here once again, here to give you guys a quick weather video before your 8-day forecast comes out later on this evening. As always, this video is sponsored by our partners at Superior RV in Conway, Arkansas. So, let's talk about today, Arkansas. This has been a very weird Monday in terms of this system here. The system's track, the dry air coming in, a lot of what we call fail-safe modes with this system today, just kind of resulting in everybody seeing kind of different outcomes with this forecast. Some areas, northern Arkansas, northwestern Arkansas, you saw snowfall, you saw accumulating snowfall, and some areas saw road issues, while other areas barely saw any snowfall, barely got any flurries. Some areas may have not even seen snow, just stayed rain the entire time, and there was actually a few strong storms across northeastern Arkansas that produced some small hail up there. So it has been a very wonky system to deal with. This is finally getting out of here. As you can see up there in northeastern Arkansas at this current time, you've got some rain mixing in with snow up there in Mississippi County. That's going to continue to move out towards the east-northeast here and set the stage for a quiet and a warmer mid to late week for us here in Arkansas here. So let's take a look at temperatures across the board. 38 degrees, actually 37 now in Fayetteville, 45 here in Little Rock, 43 in El Dorado and Camden, 47 down there, actually 46 now in Texarkana here, northeastern Arkansas. When you're dealing with the precipitation, temperatures are a lot colder over there, with temperatures about 36 degrees in Jonesboro right now, and 37 degrees in West Memphis here. So, like I mentioned before, we're putting this system behind us, we're getting it past us, and we're going to be looking for a quieter pattern coming up for the week here, guys. So, let's go over to your highlights real quickly here, and let's talk about this week here, because there's a lot of interesting things I want to talk to you guys about, especially as we get into this upcoming weekend. Now, you see that term, modified cold air. What does that mean? You're probably, some people, that's probably the first time you've ever heard that term. What does that mean? Basically, you have a cold shot coming in, but it's not going to be how it was, back in January. To the exact date, last month, we had Arctic air coming in. We were talking about a winter storm that was getting ready to impact us. Literally 2 days later, we had everything set up for that cold and snow pattern. This go around, yes, you have that cold front moving in, and it is going to drop the temperatures, but it's not going to be the Arctic cold air that some model data was trying to pin out like a week or two ago, and we were telling you guys that don't trust it. Don't trust the model data. It's going to do it because of the fact that you don't have a snowpack to the north. That's really what helps get the Arctic air here in Arkansas. You need a snowpack across Minnesota, Iowa, North and South Dakota, Nebraska, Missouri, sometimes down to Kansas. You need that snowpack in that area to help when that cold air moves down. It doesn't modify, and it helps get that Arctic air here in Arkansas. So, like I said before, if you're a cold weather fan, unfortunately, this go around with this cold front, it's not going to bring a lot of cold air with it. Temperatures are going to be colder, don't get me wrong. You're going to have temperatures in the 40s for highs, overnight lows in the 20s, which is below normal. But it's not going to be to the extreme how January was here. So, like I mentioned before, the quiet, warmer week, the mid to late week, and then the next 8 to 14 days, once we get past this weekend, we've got warmer temperatures to talk about Arkansas here. I'm not saying winter is done, but that time is ticking. That time is ticking away for us here to kind of get back in that cold and snow pattern for us here in Arkansas. Okay, so let's talk about tonight. Like I mentioned before, northeast Arkansas, you have some activity right now. That's going to clear out over the next hour or so. For tonight, not expecting any sort of rainfall or precipitation chances here. Temperatures are going to be colder. We are going to have to watch northern, northwestern Arkansas, especially areas that saw some snowfall, for the potential of patchy black ice as we get towards night. Looking at iDrive right now on my other screen over here, looks like the roadways are pretty decent, but they are wet. So keep that in mind as we get towards night here with temperatures falling below freezing. Use caution first thing tomorrow morning for your morning commute. Elsewhere across the state, temperatures in the low to mid 30s here. No precipitation chances expected with cloud cover just kind of hanging on. But if you do get rid of that cloud cover in time, some temperatures can easily fall into the low 30s here, okay? So, as always, guys, make sure you go and download our weather app here. It will help you out in terms of if you have any issues on Facebook, if you want to know what your 7-day forecast looks like, your hourly forecast looks like. If you want all that information, including alerts, make sure you go download our weather app. It is going to be Arkansas Weather Watchers in your respective Play Store here. Okay, so let's go over to the model data here. Give me just 1 second, and we're going to use what we call the European model ensemble. And basically, like I've said before in previous videos, ensemble data is something that I love to use because it takes literally a ton of scenarios here. I think the scenarios are like 40 different runs, and puts it all within one particular run to get one solid idea here. So this is the kind of the current pattern that we're in right now here. Okay, you can see the colder air moving in, some colder air moving in behind this system, a warm southeast, warm across the northern part of the country here, and up into Canada here you have that ridging starting to take place. That's what's going to kind of dislodge that colder air as we get into the weekend here. Okay, so let's just take this out. As you can see, today's storm system moves through. I mean, boy, that was the most wonkiest storm system I've ever forecasted in quite a while here. So that's getting out of here, and then you can see by the time we get into the weekend, there's your next cold shot coming in. Cold shot, I'm being very loose with that term. That's coming in as we get towards Friday morning here. Now you can see that cold front pushes through as we get towards Saturday. Temperatures are going to be falling. You're going to have temperatures for highs probably in the 40s. There could be some upper 30s across northern Arkansas here. Not expecting any winter weather. Not expecting any massive snowstorm or massive Arctic blast or anything like that. Not expecting January 2.0. But it is going to get colder. And you can see by the time you get into as early as Sunday morning, that cold air is pretty much gone. It's pretty much modified and it's gone because you don't have that snowpack to the north. And then you can see by the time you get into next week, boy, you've got spring-like weather coming in. I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about temperatures for highs in the low to mid 70s, overnight lows in the 40s, could be some 50s here. And what I am going to keep an eye on is beyond the period here. This is getting past 240 hours out. With the pattern that's in place here, you have a ridge across the central part of the country, trough east, and a trough starting to develop out west. This could result in some severe weather being possible as we get into the end part of the month. We'll keep an eye on that. Things still need to come together before we make that a big public claim, but something that we're going to have to keep an eye on as we move into the late part of February and into the start of March here. So that's all I got for you guys this evening. Y'all take care, and we'll continue to keep you guys updated right here, your source for all things Arkansas weather.